Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Knit1.Tea2 podcast. My name is Dale, and I come to you from Rhode Island. I'm going to do a little bit of an introduction. First off, welcome to my new subscribers. There are quite a few new friends here, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And welcome back to all of my returning viewers. I appreciate each and every one of you as well. So, since this is the first episode of 2024, I do have quite a few new subscribers since last time. I thought I'd do a little introduction. Let's see, I did make some notes because my postpartum brain doesn't really love to think. So, like I said, I am in Rhode Island. I live here with my husband and my two daughters. My oldest daughter, Liliana, will be 8 on February 5th, and my youngest, or my second daughter, my youngest daughter, my baby will be 3 months on February 5th. She was born 2 months early in November, and yeah, so that's that. So she is obviously here. She is napping in her crib, hopefully for a while, and yeah, so that's that. I have 10 chickens. We lost our rooster and another chicken recently, but it is what it is. I'm trying to think about it. To a predator. So, let's see. I wanted to mention that I do record on my iPhone. I have a pretty old iPhone. My hopes is to get a new one this year so that I can do some higher quality videos. Hopefully my sound is okay. I did turn off my air doctor. I do, every house makes noise. I don't actually have anything extra running, but like I said, I turned off my air doctor hoping that the sound wouldn't pick up that, but obviously the heat's on and there's, knock on wood, there's not a lot of outside noise today, but I record when I can, so it's not perfect. Let's see, I was a nurse and now I'm a stay-at-home mom. And yeah, I just like to share about my makings on YouTube and like to share with everyone, and that's that. I don't know. So let's see, if I missed something, in the description box. So I will put down below everywhere you can find me on Ravelry. I'm Knit1.Tea2 on Ravelry. On Instagram, I'm at Knit1.Tea2. I have a Goodreads if you're interested in that, and my email is down there as well. So all those are down below in the description box next to, I think it's the title of the video or my name or something like that. Click more and it's all down there. If I missed something that I talked about in the description box, please leave me a comment or shoot me a message and I can add that in. We'll be working on that. Part of my editing is working on my description box. Let's see. I'm hoping, so I have no set schedule, but I'm hoping to get at least one full podcast a month, and then maybe either another podcast thrown in there or a vlog, because I don't get as much time to knit these days with a newborn. I mean, I am still knitting, but it's not very, easy to have days to just sit and knit all day. So, there's that. And I don't want to put out an episode where I just share the same things and I haven't made any progress. So we'll see what happens with that. I do have a unboxing video that I have planned for everybody. I placed a yarn order from Joann's and I haven't received all of it, so I'm going to wait for all of it to come and then I'll post that separately, because I don't want to make this too long. And then I am just over 200 subscribers, and I'm so happy about that. And I think that once I hit 300, I think I'll do a pattern giveaway. So I'll keep you posted on that. I'll keep an eye on my subscriber count. And if you, would subscribe or share my videos, I would appreciate that and help us get to 300, and then I can do a pattern prize giveaway. What else? What else? I think that's it. So I'm going to go through my finished objects. I do have a couple. My whips, and then I'll talk a little bit about life, which I kind of did a little bit, so I don't think there'll be too much, but alright, let's get started. Alright, my first finished object of the, this is the last finished object of 2023, and that video will come out too. I want to share all of my finished objects for 2023. I still am putting together collages of all of like the socks and things like that, and I'm still needing to take some finished object pictures, so we'll see. I was hoping for a nice day outside, but the weather here has been awful and cloudy and gray like every day, and wet, like not snow, well, a little bit of snow, but mostly rain. So I really haven't been able to get outside and take good finished object pictures, so we'll see. But this was the last finished object of 2023. I made my oldest daughter socks, and I was making both girls socks to match. They were supposed to get them for Christmas. Did not happen. So this is one. I did 2x2 ribbing for the leg, and then obviously the top of the foot. There is a second sock. I don't know where it went. My daughter does not like to wear socks, so she wears them for a little bit, takes them off, and then it's probably in the couch. But I didn't want to take the time to go looking for it while the baby was napping. I want to get this recorded. So I did 60 stitches. I did a pop of color cuff, heel and toe. This is the pop of color cuff. The Crazy Sock Lady has a tutorial on that. I did... Oh, this is the color, the gray, is Here in Color Dye Works that I bought at the Naughty Knittress. Colorway is charcoal. I think it's Lemelo Falls, something like that. Sparkle, I think, is the yarn. The main color is Knit Picks Stroll. I wrote it down. Pink Moon is the colorway. So there's that. There is a second one. I'll post a picture here on the side to prove that there is a second sock. And then these are my baby's socks. So same yarn. I didn't do the heel in a different color because they're so small it gets difficult. But yeah, I used the Rye Light by Tin Can Knits, their baby size stitch count. So, and I mean the ribbing, it does stretch quite a bit. So, these are a little big. They'll fit her for longer though, that was my goal. Whereas Liliana's I made a little small, I should have made the foot longer. The rest of it fits great, it's just I should have made the foot a little bit longer. So, there's that. I do want to check off what I've shared because I will forget. And I do take notes, so if you see me looking down, that's why. So, Liliana's socks I knit from December 18th to December 31st. Mariella's socks I started on the 9th of January this year and finished on the 24th of January this year. And that was my first finished object of 2024. So, I need to take a finished object photo of them, and then I want to get the two pairs of socks together. I want to be better about finished object pictures this year. The year's still, early. So my second finished object is, if you've been around a while, you know I was working on these, and I had a fiasco with the yarn getting all tangled, but these are done. Finally! I'm so happy. Maybe that was my thumbnail. I started these on the 12th of December and finished on the 27th of January. So they took me a really long time because I was working on a lot of other things. I had Castonitis this January, even though I said I wasn't going to. I did. So these are just a vanilla sock pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady. And the yarn is a Yarnable subscription box. For those that don't know, it's a monthly subscription box. I do not get every single month. I do look at the colors and I pick and choose. It's on her plush sock base, Sweet Liberty was the colorway. I think it was July. And these, when I saw the color, I immediately thought Christmas, even though they were supposed to be watermelon, but I decided to make them my Christmas socks this year because they reminded me of a peppermint. So that's that. Yeah, this is the second finished object, and I will count them as a finished object for this year, even though they were like more than half done before the beginning of the year. So I'm actually going to put these over here. Like I said, trying to be more organized so it flows a little bit better. And then my last finished object is a tiny one. So Jen, her name is Jen. It's a free pattern on Instagram. I'll put her handle down below. It's Everything Shapes Us, and there's dots in between each word. What is her, hold on. Scrappy Knits and Knitting Patterns is like her name or title on Instagram. And look at this. It's a mini hat. So this is a Yarnable colorway called Mermazing. I just love it. Like, it's just so tiny. It's so cute. I made it on the 8th of January. I did it in like one evening. It's really, really quick. And I had made these snowman ornaments for the past couple years. I've made some. And I want to make this hat just a tad bit smaller, like the height. Well, I don't know. That kind of looks cute too. I love it. And figure out how to attach it. So I might make them a little bit shorter. Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh, it's so cute. So, but really, my goal for these, and she has a little sock pattern as well, which I have not made yet. But I want to make a garland and put them on my window. I have a picture window here. Let me see if I can show you. That's my picture window. And see, I have hearts there right now, a heart garland. But I want to make a garland with all hats and socks for next year. So I have my scraps here in a bag with the hat, and I'll get there. So that's that. And that is all my finished objects. So I do have to say that Mariella's sock was a cast-on for January and a finished object. So that was one of the cast-ons. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. That was 6. So I finished 1. So now we'll go into whips, but I'm going to pause for a water break. Okay, now I'm going into whips. Maybe I'll put slides in between each thing. I don't know. I'm working on my vlog, or no, not my vlog, my video styling and things like that. I did forget to say that this is my draw cardigan that I'm wearing. I think I made it in 2021. I think so. No, 2022? I don't remember. Draw cardigan, free pattern on Ravelry. I feel like it's really awkward when I stand up because I have like a short distance here, so I'm not going to like stand up and show you, but I love it. Wool of the Andes from Knit Picks. Sapphire Heather, I think, was the colorway. It's so comfy, cozy. I love it. I really want to make another one, but it took forever because this collar pattern is beautiful, but it just takes a long time. I just love it. And it kind of hurt my hands. Just the constant back and forth of knitting and purling and whatever. Okay. Whips. So I'm going to start with this one. So on the first, I decided to cast on a Cozy Christmas Memories. So I'm using the Coziest Memories scrap blanket recipe by Kemper Ray. I am using the US size 2 2.75 millimeter needles like it calls for, and following the pattern exactly as far as stitch counts and things like that. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and I have it in my avocado Christmas bag from Ginger Snap Fibers. I think that's upside down. That I got, this was not last year, the year before. So this is what I have so far. I have 3. My sister gave me 12 days of yarn for Christmas to go with my 12 days of Christmas, and these were from her. I think this is Pretty Twisted, Festive AF. This is, I think it's Cookies for Santa, Sugar Cookies, one of those, because I think the other one I have is Cookies for Santa. This is Scott Calvin, and I have my light bulb stitch marker to show the right side, even though I technically don't need that, but that I made. This is the back side. I'm not great at making it look like nice seams, but I don't really care. It's a Scrappy blanket, and I'm just doing the direction of the squares anyway. I'm just doing it totally scrappy. I'm not thinking about it too much. I am kind of picking and choosing my colors, and I'm going to do winter and Christmas colorways. So she gave me, this was a yarnable, that's winter mint, I think, or something like that, that I'm going to put in there. This is another one that she had given me, and this one, oh, come on, light. Better. And then I have my winter peppermint. I have a couple more that I haven't gotten in the bag, but, so I'm going to, this isn't going to be a blanket either, by the way. It's going to be a shawl. So I think I'm going to do, I don't know, maybe 4. I gotta see how big it gets. I'm gonna make it long and rectangular and make it a shawl of Christmas and winter colorways instead of a blanket. Because I have a Christmas lap blanket that I'm working on. I didn't bring it to show because I haven't made any progress on it, but I thought it would be cool to have a shawl. So that's my first whip. There. And then I started a second Cozy Memories because I decided that I wanted that one to only be Christmas and winter colorways, just because I did. And so my second one I cast on the 5th of January, and I have it in my bag that I won from the Stripe Along from Amy of Happy Little Yarns. There's her, I love these things. And it's got a fox on it. And I thought that was really fitting because Mariella's theme, like for her room and stuff, and blankets, is foxes. So I thought that was really cool. It's a drawstring bag. It's, oh my gosh, and it's got this nice handle. I love it. Amy, I love it. I'm pretty sure you're still watching my videos. If you are, I love it. That's the back. It's so pretty. So, inside, my Cozy Memories. I am in the middle of a square. I'm using my Clover DPNs because I don't have straights that are size 2. So I'm working with what I got. What I do is I have the 2 stitch stoppers that I put on either end and I put it in the bag. And this is what I have so far. So this is one of my most favorite new cast-ons. These blankets, this one and my Christmas one. And I just love it. So see, the squares are going every which way, and I like that. it doesn't bother me. The back isn't terrible. I'm doing fingering weight. I'm trying to weave in when I get like the 4 corners here, I'm trying to weave in the ends so it's not so daunting. At the end, this one will be a blanket, whether it's a lap blanket or a bigger blanket. Who knows? We'll see when I get there. And I'm really loving them. I cannot always finish a square in one sitting because, you know, baby, living with a newborn. But I like to, right now it's still small enough I can work on it while I pump. But I just love it. I added in this square. And so what I'm doing is I added in squares here, and then I put the leftovers in the bag for the tiny hats. And anything left over after that, I have a separate bag for my garter Scrappy blanket that I'm not going to show because I haven't worked on, but I might pull that out soon and work on it. It's like, you might be a winner kind of thing. You know that commercial? I might pull it out and work on it. Actually, I need to get... And I think what I'm going to do, so that I can know what progress I've made, because I'm not going in any type of order. I'm just throwing in whatever yarn I want to work with, where I think it'll fit best. I'm going to... I have to get that in there. I'm going to put a light bulb stitch marker on my new squares for the next episode, so that I don't get confused and that I can show everyone the process or the new squares, and I don't have to feel like every time I record being like, oh, I don't remember where I was at. That's my plan. Okay. I also wanted to say the bag from Amy, I won that, but she does have her Instagram account, happylittleyarn_sewing, I think is what it is. I'll put it down below. And I'm going to make my list for editing and add that in. Alright, so my next whip is my New Year, New Method socks, is what I called them. I like to name my projects, in case you haven't noticed. I like to give them all just different names. So I have this in a bag by Bags by Awesome Granny that my sister got me for Christmas. Knitting chickens. I mean, like, seriously, so cute. So what I decided to do was to get some 9-inch circulars. So I bought Chow Goo Red Lace size, US size 0, which is 2 millimeter. I made my watermelon peppermint socks, by the way, on TPNs. But these ones, I'm trying the 9-inch circulars, and I don't exactly know how I feel about them. But this is where I've gotten so far. So the contrasting color is a mini that was given to me by Alicia of Apple Crafts. It's 100% superwash single ply merino, 20 grams. The colorway is Blue Galaxy. And my main color is, it's a blue. It's coming out a little gray on camera, but it's blue. It is by a local yarn dyer to me, Rose of Sharon. I don't think she ships, but I'm not positive. I should ask her. But Rose of Sharon, I will post her Instagram below. She does natural and acid yarn dyeing. And she uses the Nomad Duo yarn base. Alright. The Nomad Duo is 80% superwash wool, 20% nylon, fingering sock weight yarn. And this is a 4th use elderberry dye pot. So really what I should have done is bought all of them and like done a faded scarf or shawl with all of the elderberry colors, because it started off purpley and transitioned to like this light blue, and oh my gosh, I love it. So I thought this looked really good with the blue. As soon as I saw this blue color, I was like, oh, I know exactly what I'm going to do. So I'll do the heel and toe also in the contrast color. So the 9-inch circulars. Here are my thoughts. It took a lot to get used to, and doing the cuff was really hard. It really hurt my hands. It took me a long time. I can't figure out like how to hold them well. I feel like is my issue. I think it's just training my hands to do something different. So I was really holding them really tight, and they were really hurting my wrists. But I think I've tried to like loosen up a bit. The positives to them is that dealing with a newborn and knitting while I hold her, I don't feel like I'm going to poke her because there's not 4 needles. And if I need to like set them down real quick, I can kind of just throw it to the side, and I don't feel like I'm going to lose stitches, or if I'm in the middle of a row or a needle, I feel like I'm going to lose stitches when I'm working with DPNs. So I like them for that aspect. It's just a little bit to get used to. I thought that my gauge was really off from my regular socks, but I held them up and they're pretty similar. So I think we'll see, when I finish these and put them on, how they feel. But yeah. And maybe like this yarn is not as like silky or smooth as others, so maybe that makes a difference. Not that it's like scratchy, it's just, I don't know how to describe it. But I'm working on it. I will work through these. I just haven't been knitting as much on socks, really, which is kind of crazy. I've been really loving my blankets, the Cozy Memories. So I don't know. We'll see. What are your opinions on 9-inch circulars? I feel like I've asked this question before, but like if you use 9-inch circulars, was there a transition period, or did you just start out learning socks on 9-inch circulars? Have you ever tried Magic Loop, and what are your thoughts on that? I don't know. I don't really... I want to try Magic Loop, but I'm like, I don't need to buy another set of needles that I may not love and not use again. Because like I said, we'll see what happens with these. I will finish this pair of socks, and then I'll decide. I don't know. But I think I did 15 rounds of the cuff, the Pop of Color cuff by the Crazy Sock Lady. I don't know if I can link her tutorials below. I think I can link other YouTube videos. I'm not sure. I just did, I think, 4 rounds of this blue. I have to really pay attention when I make the second sock. And then I use Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady's tutorial on these light bulb stitch markers too. She's got that video there too. This is a stitch marker that I made. It's like a charm that I'd gotten somewhere. So there's that. That's enough about those. Yeah, I don't know about the 9-inch circulars. I want to love them. I really do. So if I can retrain my hands a little bit, that'll be good. Okay. The only issue with separating out these videos and having to pause in between a little bit, I had to make sure the baby was not waking up, is I don't know how long I've actually talked. Let's see. Oh, right. On the 7th of January, I cast on a shawl in a bag from my husband that he brought me back from Guatemala. It's nice and big, which I might have to eventually transition my Cozy Memories into here, but that's okay. I decided that I wanted to use up some of my scraps. So I opened, when I was putting in a couple other, leftover from socks, I was like, oh, I have a lot of purples. So I decided to make a shawl, Scrappy purple shawl. What do I call it? Purple Scrappy shawl. And I started this on the 7th, and I'm loving this. I've been working on this a lot too. This and my Cozy Memories are like the things I've been knitting on. So the pattern is 22.5 degrees by Martina Beham. I'll put her name below. And I will post a picture of the shawl here because I don't have colored ink, so I print out the pictures in black and white, and you just can't, you can't get a good enough picture. So this is my progress so far. It is on a shorter, I think this is a 24-inch circular cable. I'm using my Clover interchangeable needles, US size 6. This is not what the pattern called for, but I think the pattern is technically different weight yarn and different, yeah, I think it's a different weight yarn, so bigger needles or something like that. But I use my patterns as a guideline, like recipes. I use the recipe as a guideline. But this is where I'm at. I have, which I will move up. This was a charm too. Actually this was a already put together charm. But I'll move that up to show progress of where I'm at. But I love it. I love it. It's kind of turning, this is actually dark blue, I think, and not purple, but it's got that little bit of like pinky purple in there. And I'll show you the next color. Oh, I have to fix this. This transition here, I still cannot get my magic knots. Even though I use the tutorial, I do it exactly that way. I can't always get my magic knots to stay together. So this is Knit Picks Hawthorne is the first color. This is the Yarnable Amazing. This is Breaking Yarn, Breaking Violet. There is another one in between here that's really old and I have no idea what it is. And then this one on top is Knit Picks Static, I think. Which I don't know that they make anymore. I did drop a stitch because I was working on it at night one night. And so when I went to pick it up, it was like rows and rows back, and so it kind of looks a little funky here. But I couldn't get it picked up right. But this is for me, and it's fine, and you can't even tell when I'm going to be wearing it. You're not going to be able to tell. So in the pattern, there's actually a scalloped edge, which I don't know that I'll do. Because, I mean, the edge is coming out pretty nice, I think. So I might just leave it like that. I realized I should have done like these holes here, and I should have done that detail on the edge, but I was already like 3 colors into it when I thought of that, and I wasn't going to rip it all back. So that's my shawl. I really love it. I feel like this charm is a little heavy, so I might actually put a different one on. But for now, I'm going to just move this up because I want to be able to show you where I was at from one episode to the next. I never even did say. Darn. This is episode 19, by the way. I had it written down, too. The first episode of 2024, episode 19. So that's going to go in there, and then I have one more whip for you. So this whip is, I cast on the 12th. It is a hiking hat, because during hunting season, you're supposed to wear bright orange. Have 2 hats that I just bought at Walmart, but my husband bought me this yarn last year for Christmas, not last year, the year before, 2022 for Christmas. It is big twist value, varsity orange is the colorway, just 100% acrylic, and this is where I'm at. I've cast on and did, I think, 3 rows, but I'm going to use Amy of Happy Little Yarn, put out a pattern, the Enchanted Evening Cap, and it's a double brim hat. It's a DK weight pattern, so I'm using my own stitch count for this hat, but I'm going to use her double brim technique. I've never done it before, so I downloaded her pattern, and I'm going to use that and make it double brim. So we'll see how it goes. And then I'm going to make Mariella one too when I'm done with this one for me. Because, I mean, I don't have one now. I had one for Liliana and I got rid of it, but a hiking backpack, and so I put the safety vest over that, but I just thought it'd be cute for her to have a orange hat. So, that. Those are my whips. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then, like I said, Mariella's sock was number 6. Wow. That's all I cast on since the first of the year. And I had said that I wasn't going to have as many projects with the baby. I was going to focus on one, but no. So that concludes the making portion of my episode, my podcast episode, this episode 90. We don't sleep a lot. So I'm going to talk a little bit about life. So if you were just here for the making, thank you. I appreciate you being here. If you want to hear about the books I'm reading, the show we're watching, and a little bit more, I guess, about my life, then stay tuned. Okay, so I finished my first book of 2024. I listened to books. I listened to audiobooks while I knit and while I clean, while I put laundry away, while I do dishes, all that kind of stuff. So I read, or listened to, whatever. I still think listening to an audiobook counts as reading. Iron Flame was the first book by Rebecca Yarros. I think that's how you say her last name. I read Fourth Wing was the first one, and I read it, and I had to listen to it twice to really fully digest the whole book. Don't know why, just did. So Iron Flame, I feel like I have to do the same. So I listened to it. It was good. But I think I need to listen to it again to fully digest. I don't know if it's because I'm listening to it or just my brain these days is a little slow. So I will re-listen to that eventually, but it was good. And I'm currently listening to a book by Sarah J. Maas, and it's the Crescent City #1, House of Earth and Blood. I'll put a picture of it here. And I'm re-listening to, I have already read the first and second, but the series isn't complete, and the third one just came out, so I wanted to re-listen to them so I could refresh my brain. And so on the first one, I like her books. She also, like, I read A Court of Thorn and Roses, all of those. Apparently there's a new one of those that'll come out too. I didn't know that. And her Assassin's Blade was the first one. Well, I read it first. Throne of Glass is the title of that series. Really good as well. So those are books and show. So we are watching Little House on the Prairie. It's on Amazon Prime, all 9 seasons. We're loving it. We had watched it years ago. We watched it from beginning to end, and so we're watching it again. And I love it. And now we know the different episodes. We are skipping the ones that are not our favorite or are exceptionally violent, just because. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I now kind of want to read the books, which I have, but I just have to be a little picky and choosy about what I do with my time. Let's see, what else was I going to talk about? I guess, yes. So if you were around last year, I had set a goal where I wanted to walk 1,000 miles in a year, and then I got pregnant, and then I was pretty sick for most of my pregnancy. I really never felt great the whole time, so I didn't meet that goal, not even close. But I'm setting that goal again this year, and once the weather gets a little bit nicer, I know we'll be walking. Mariel likes to move. We have taken her for a couple walks, and she does really good. So once we kind of settle a little bit and the weather gets a little bit nicer, we will definitely do more walking. But I have done some walking so far. So my sister got me this in my 12 days, and this is like my journal. I put my gratitudes. I'm not holding myself accountable to having to do something every day. I can't do that. It's, I guess for lack of a better word, it's depressing when you don't reach those goals every day and you try and hold yourself to those standards. So I'm not doing that. But I have, I have stickers here that I put on. See, I got Amy's thing here. This was from Teresa Pretty Twisted, her Yarn of the Month Club. I got her Yarn of the Month Club. Maybe I should show that for January's. Not February's, I haven't gotten that yet. I sent all the making friends away if they didn't want to listen to life stuff, but that's okay. So this is where I'm at so far for January. I decided, it's a little messy, but what I'm going to do is pick like a color theme for the month and then do each week separate. So, yeah. I haven't walked a ton. I've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 miles, I think. Maybe 6. But this is 1,000 hours outside. It's a free printable, and I thought it kind of, like it says 1,000 hours, 1,000 hours outside here, but I thought it kind of looked like a walking path. So I'm using the same one as last year. And then I have a calendar in my journal here of my exercise or activity of the day. There's a lot, like there's a whole week and a half of just rest because we are not sleeping a ton. So Mariella is still up every like 3 hours the most at nighttime. I think she's confused because for the past couple days she slept really pretty good during the day and not at night. So I think I need to figure that out and work on that. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. Because it's starting to, like, so technically she will be 3 months, but technically she's only a month because of her, like, when her due date was supposed to be. So that makes it a little bit hard. but I carry her, I have a carrier that works well. However, my core is very weak, so my low back hurts, even just standing to do dishes without holding her. So I'm really trying to work on that. 10-15 minutes a day is my goal, but not sleeping a ton. I don't want to stress my body too much because I am breastfeeding. I don't want to decrease my milk supply. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. My word for the year is peace. Being at peace with where I'm at. Finding peace in my days. And just being at peace with this is my life right now. And is it the way I had envisioned my postpartum experience to be? No. But this is where I'm at. And I'm doing better than I was when I had Juliana. So, being peaceful. That's my goal. So that's a little bit more about my life, I guess. I am working on trying to keep my house a little more picked up in between feedings and stuff. That can bring me peace and not be so chaotic. What else? That's really all I have. I think she's starting to stir. Alright. It was probably like an hour nap. See, that's good. Yesterday she slept for way too long during the day. And I let her, and that was, I think, a mistake. We're working on it. So anyways, alright. Thank you everyone for sticking around. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And I love comments. I don't always respond to them right away. I may respond to them at 3 in the morning. But I really do appreciate everyone being here, and I do love to read everyone's comments. Even if I don't respond, I may just give it a love, a little heart. But, so, that is all. And I will see everyone next time. Thank you for watching. Bye!